Welcome back to the Billabong Pro Tahiti. Just 12 surfers remain in contention for the event win here. 3 of them hitting the lineup in Heat 1, Keanu, Asing, Kolohe, Andino, and Jordy Smith.
A win here, that could be a sign in that same direction.
Yeah, I mean, I love this event. I really want to get barrel and go all the way. I know I'm in the same key as John, and yeah, hopefully I can get in the final.
Looking forward to see more of Gabe Medina surfing.
Thank you, Kaipo. And Gabe, he said he had to play a smart heat. It gave him the opportunity with Kai out of position to swoop on the best score of that last heat of round 3. But now, let's get set for a big one here. Jordy Smith going to turns, Ross. That wind looks like it has kicked up just a little.
It has, and so I actually don't mind it. I know we're here in Tahiti. We want to see these guys get barreled, but because the wind's got that little crumble on it, at least we get to see these guys perform. So a couple of nice little hacks in there from Jordy.
Jordy staying busy now. Wow. Setting the fins free and maintaining control, just hanging on. So adding a lot of risk there and committing to the closeout section with a nice little floater on the inside. Jordy hasn't been into the quarterfinals at this contest.
Wow, how efficient was that little zap off the lip right there from Jordy Smith. Take a look at this turn right here. Watch the fins, bang, out the back. I bet the boys had a really good look at that. Just watching Jordy and going, oh my gosh, all 3 fins to the face. Again, pay attention to his back foot, Ronnie. He's going to push so hard on his tail, he's going to release the fins. That is a radical maneuver right there. You know, that is showing the judges that you're willing to put a lot of commitment into your turn. You know, the more you slide your fins, the less control you have.
Well, you could see his front foot actually slipped to the inside rail of his board. He did well to hang on to it and adjust and also squeak in a little floating re-entry to finish. He did well to hang on to it and adjust and also squeak in a little floating re-entry to finish. A 5.5 for Jordy Smith. No sign of a tube on offer. And he pushes a little further ahead, but Keanu is seeing, he locks in. You could see he was on his way down from the start of that ride. The foam ball got ahead of him.
So it's a very smart adjustment from Jordy, picking up that it's crumbly and going to work. There again is a great example of showing the judges, I'm going to throw some risk at this little wave. And again, picking up on the fact that, hey, I can get a score on a little wave here. You have to be flexible with the conditions. You know, had he done that?
With a sat out the majority of the heat without catching waves, Jordy was lucky to squeak through. But here we go, Keanu Asing now. Got a nice looking wall here. Has to keep that down the line flow though, and hasn't really been able to commit to anything big just yet, but there is a huge turn. But he just overdid it and took a fall. Jordy keeping busy on the maneuvers, and another super explosive first turn, just a little wobbly riding out of that move.
It's a little more cushion there on that inside reef, so I like it. It's good timing with the tide and the crumble. A long wave here for Keanu, and it kind of stung me even when watching him fall on that 3rd turn, because he was on to a really, you know, solid score. Just a couple of snaps right here, but look at this thing build. Now it's double overhead nearly, and a stronger effort on that 3rd turn. A little more rail in the water and a lot of spray, but he caught an edge. So the judges will make him pay for that. It's not going to be a keeper. Kind of the same thing for Jordy. He not on purpose, that inside rail got stuck and all his momentum stopped. You can score a big tube ride, and that's going to open up a huge score.
Here goes Keanu again, and he's going to go to turns. He does have a very solid backhand attack, and that bottom turn to top turn was deep. A beautiful combo there, and he's still going, just bashing away at this wall. The combination was really solid out of that first turn.
I liked that bottom turn too, Ronnie. That was a beautiful bottom turn. He got so low to his surfboard, creating a ton of leverage. Just a decent turn here, but watch his bottom turn. That was amazing. He almost got like a ton of centrifugal force off that bottom turn, and it whipped him straight up into that top turn, which was by far his best maneuver. So a lot of clean, tidy efforts right there. A couple of nice snaps.
Here goes Jordy Smith grabbing rail and getting the first barrel ride of this heat. A crumbly exit, not too many points there, but still some wall to work with. And Jordy's been very busy, doesn't complete that second maneuver Andino still holding on to that priority out the back. Wants to make it count for something special.
Play around the inside. I'm going to wait for a big set wave and try and get barreled and really open this thing up. Jordy staying busy, sneaking into a crumbly little barrel, but again, the judges won't be too excited about that because you kind of have to bust through the door. It's not a traditional barrel that you see here in Tahiti, so that's always going to keep the score in check. But it means so much to all of them because they're trying to go places. For Keanu, he's trying to qualify. For Kolohe, he wants to get back up into that top 10 conversation, and then Jordy, this is big for him.
Welcome back. We have round 4 action underway. Keanu Asing trying to wrestle his way into the lead here. He needs to get a 3.95 or better. Put away a 5.33 on his previous wave as he takes this one right through to the inside. 18.5 minutes to go, but is making a move right now. And just a very smooth takeoff into the tube there. Another surfer with a great backhand whip. And he lets go of a couple of solid turns here to finish this wave off. So Andino's going to get on the board now. He's going to narrow the requirement.
I will say that average came out a little lower than I anticipated. I thought it'd be at least a 6.5, but it dropped in at a 5.3. This is a different wave right here. Nice little poke right through the lip. But there, that wave ran out of gas, Ronnie, and just got foamy. But again, hopefully Keanu doesn't get too ruffled by that number. I'm sure he might have anticipated a higher score as well. And Kolohe finally opening up his account. Just an okay wave. So, maybe he's realizing, okay, I'm going to go ahead and relinquish this thought of a perfect wave. Let's get busy. I will say that average came out a little lower than I anticipated. I thought it'd be at least a 6.5, but it dropped in at a 5.3. This is a different wave right here. Nice little poke right through the lip. But there, that wave ran out of gas, Ronnie, and just got foamy. But again, hopefully Keanu doesn't get too ruffled by that number. I'm sure he might have anticipated a higher score as well. And Kolohe finally opening up his account. Just an okay wave. So, maybe he's realizing, okay, I'm going to go ahead and relinquish this thought of a perfect wave. Let's get busy.
Well, they got the combination of tube and turn, so let's see where that score falls. But Jordy Smith, he's going to tap into the best barrel of the heat so far and still has room to move on the open face. That green wall standing up, and he stamps that one with a floater, and he likes the feel of it.
But his timing is perfect. He really does surf precise. So this is a solid tube ride, probably the best one so far in this heat, going through a lot of chandeliers. But watch this off the lip. That was so precise. Again, just kind of hitting it right before the lip broke, which allowed him to throw a ton of spray out the back and really keep that speed up. That's that flow that we like to use. It's in the criteria. So good technique there, kind of getting that left elbow up in the air, clearing his body, but very impressive snap.
A super impressive snap, and the biggest number of this heat so far. Jordy Smith presses further ahead, a 6.83.
Strict his workout regimen is, but I know he's working with Chris Gallagher, and he seems very serious.
He looks pretty fired up at the moment, leading this heat and just trying to build that lead. Keanu Asing with priority out there at the moment. Fun conditions out here this afternoon as we have a look at the replay of Jordy's last wave.
Yeah, just kind of a non-issue here. And I will say, to just kind of back up, well, here, we'll get back to that.
Andino tucking into the barrel. Interesting technique there, just really leaning on the heel of his front foot. And now trying to bash the lip as hard as he can. Really throwing everything at that last section.
You never know, and this ocean out here kind of just comes alive. It could reach a new level very quick, very easily. But for Kolohe, didn't really spend enough time deep in that barrel. But it was a nice, nice quick tube. So I think it'll be a decent backup score for him. A lot of middle of the road scores here. So right there at the very beginning, he was pretty deep, but quickly he got out to the shoulder. So again, it's going to be a mid-range score.
11 minutes to go.
Exact opposite. Let's say, Jordy can't quite match some of the guys on tour in big, shallow, scary reef breaks. So everyone kind of has these spikes in their surfing where they really shine.
Well, during that recap, Keanu Asing used his priority and found this nugget. He tucked in, found some good cover on the inside, and that's all he took out of that wave. Did he leave any points out there on this one, Ross?
Yowzer, beautiful wave. Look at that. So there's that extra energy you need to make that barrel open up. Keanu saying not quite as deep as he could have been, but we're splitting hairs here. You know, I think where he took off and the line he chose, it was solid, but maybe a couple points left on the board, but now he's more than in a mix there. Ronnie dropping a pretty good score.
Here we got another wave really deep. Kolohe Andino double pump with the rail, comes flying out through the tube. He loves it.
Wow. Well,
Wow.
you can chalk that one up for one of the top 5 claims of the day. A lot of emotion there from Andino. We actually heard him scream from the point. And Jordy Smith, he's going to find one too, but just a quick cover-up compared to Andino's bomb set. Oh, he's going to try and add some points on the end section though.
You know, you can chip away, you can go to work and grind like Jordy did with big moves, and all of a sudden this comes in. I mean, this looks like a whole different day. And that's what, you know, we kind of noticed at the beginning there with Kolohe Andino being patient. He wanted, look at that technique right there, grabbing the rail and pumping. That is pretty unique. That's difficult to do. The reason why he was pumping to that barrel is he was nice and deep. So he's trying to get just a little more speed so that he could make it out of that barrel successfully. It's going to be a giant score for Kolohe, and he just turned this heat upside down, Ronnie.
Well, Keanu Asing is up at the moment, live action here. And Anu going to turns and just linking it together so well, but needs that big pit. A score has dropped for Kolohe's set. 9.53, one judge threw a 10 at him and keep him busy. Has surrendered the lead in the final stages. Kolohe waiting for that bomb set.
It finally paid off for him, and also a stroke of luck. You know, right when he had priority, that wave marched in. So that's again, it's nerve-wracking competing today. You just never know when that wave's going to show up.
Into the quarterfinals for the second time in his history, Kolohe Andino with this location.